What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for Life, coming at you on YouTube. And today I've got another edition of Tales from the Fort, where I watch old movies, old horror movies, and tell you guys how good or how bad they are based on my first time experience from watching them. This October, I've been watching a ton of movies. Out of my 31 movies for October, 22 are first time watches. A lot of which are considered horror staples that I should have watched a long time ago that I finally got around to watching this year, this October. This is one of those movies. From Tales from the Fort today, I am talking about 2009's After.Life. Didn't know what to expect. I put it on the list because Christina Ricci and some scenes of hers in this movie are always talked about. But I was looking at reviews and ratings, and they didn't seem very high on this. So I was like, the stills look really cool. The poster looks cool. The cast looks great. I love Christina Ricci, so I'm going to check this out, but I didn't have high expectations because the trailer didn't give much away, in my opinion, from what I can remember anyway, and the reviews were very low, so I didn't know what to expect from this. But 2009's Afterlife is quickly becoming one of my favorite watches of my entire October. Man, did I fall in love with this movie. You talk about a good psychological thriller, and it definitely goes more towards psychological thriller than horror. There's not a ton of horror aspects in this, but the psychological thriller is the horror. The real life expectation and the dastardly deeds of some of these characters really make you think of this as a real life horror. I love when psychological thrillers can overcome their pacing issues and can bring out some really deep, dark stuff. And this is one of the most dark, twisted things I've seen in a long time, and I say that in the best possible way. Let's get to the credits. This is going to be hard to pronounce, guys. Please stay with me. This film from 2009, Afterlife, was written by Agnieszka Wojciech-Vulu, that is one name, Paul Vulu, and Jacob Korakzuk. I hope that I pronounced those right. My goodness. And directed by Agnieszka Wojciech-Vulu. This is in my opinion, classic psychological thriller. It is starring Christina Ricci, Liam Neeson, and Justin Long. And this story essentially is the story of a couple who's kind of always fighting, always negative, kind of has bad vibes around their relationship. But Justin Long's character is looking to finally get engaged to the Christina Ricci's character. He's looking to move for a job, and he wants to take the relationship to the next level and wants to overcome all their fighting because Christina Ricci and her family have a history of aggressiveness, mental illness, rough family upbringing, stuff like that. So we see the relationship between the two of them really severed at the beginning and going through a lot of tension and a lot of issues. And as Justin Long goes to propose, Christina Ricci thinks that he's breaking up with her, so she storms off drinking and driving in a rainstorm and gets driven off the road and killed, so we think, in a car accident. So we wake up with Christina Ricci's character and Liam Neeson's character. Liam Neeson is this funeral director who's doing all the embalming and getting her ready for her funeral, but she can interact with Liam Neeson as he tells her that he is a kind of a clairvoyant, I guess you would say, kind of the ghost whisperer kind of thing, where he can talk to ghosts and help them pass on. So we have this film being a majority of the dialogue between Liam Neeson and Christina Ricci, where he's trying to get her to pass on and get her ready for the funeral, and she's trying to come to terms with the fact that she still feels like she's alive because she can still interact with him. So it is the story of Christina Ricci's passing and getting into in limbo here, getting into the afterlife, with her mother dealing with it, who's been estranged from her, her boyfriend, fiance dealing with it, who is about to make her his fiance, and this little boy who goes to the school that Christina Ricci teaches at, where he is fascinated by death, and he's kind of the weird kid in school, and he had a special relationship with Christina Ricci, who was his favorite teacher. So we see these characters all progressing and dealing with the loss of Christina's character, and we've come to figure out who's good and who's bad in this scenario. Without spoiling it, that's about all I can tell you, but it is from 2009. It's 11 years old, so I'm going to go ahead and spoil it now. If you don't want me to go any further, for the non-spoiler folks out there, I think if you like psychological thrillers and you like strong acting and you like kind of some ambiguous kind of afterlife stuff, this film is really good, and it does go on to explain the stuff that I will explain to you guys in the spoiler portion. So if you like a good psychological thriller with good actors, you're going to fall in love with this. I recommend it. 8 out of 10. It is one of the best things that I've watched this October, and I don't know how it took me 11 years to watch this thing. I love the acting in this. I love the interplay of the characters, and everyone not only has a good relation to each other, but progresses as the film goes on. Now I'm going to talk about spoilers. Basically, we come to find out that Christina Ricci's character did not die. She was abducted off the side of the road. When she goes to have the car accident, it cuts away. It does like a whiteout and cuts away, and we don't see her actually get into the accident. We just see her wake up on the embalming table and look like she's dead. And so the whole film is her trying to escape and get out of this guy's lair, basically, the funeral parlor. But he's got doors locked and everything. And you know something's not right. You just really don't know what's up. The whole time you're wondering where this is going to go. How all these characters are going to fit together again. You know, the mother comes to visit the parlor when the daughter's dead, and the daughter's given drugs and is passed out. So you're wondering, is she really dead? You know, can she be seen? Well, how's the little boy going to factor in? Is the fiance going to get his love back? Is Liam Neeson's character a positive angel that guides her to the afterlife, or is he a bad guy? You know, you don't really know most of the time what's going on until about the last 20 minutes. This film is about an hour and 44 minutes, but it does not feel that long. The pacing's pretty solid. There are moments that they could have cut out because there are scenes that go long and there are some scenes that are repetitive between Liam Neeson and Christina Ricci. But although you could cut it down by 15 minutes, I don't think you need to. This hour and 44 is pretty svelte. I mean, it's not nearly as long as purported to be. It feels like it goes pretty solid because, again, all the scenes connect you. They're all dramatic. They're all tearjerkers. They are the story of people losing their loved ones. It's the story of a mother who never treated her daughter right, suddenly kind of feeling guilty. It is a fiance who wanted to take the next step and fix his relationship but never got the chance to. It is a victim in Christina Ricci who now thinks that she's dead and does not get the chance to fix the things she wanted to when she was alive. And it comes out to be that Liam Neeson's character abducted Christina Ricci and made her think she was dead. He is a funeral director that captures people who aren't living life to the best of their abilities because they're already dead on the inside anyway. So he's like, well, might as well just kill them because they're taking up spots for people that actually should be alive. There's people out there that want to be alive all over the world and die too soon. So these people that are alive, that are abusing their lives, that aren't appreciating who they are and appreciating what they have and fixing the things that are wrong with their lives, that he's going to kill them, make them think they're dead anyway. So he's making up her body and giving her drugs to make her think she's dead when she's really not. And Justin Long's character believes that the entire time. And nobody else believes him because it seems like she's dead. So he goes on a slow mental descent to the point where he's breaking into police offices. He's trying to break into the funeral parlor. He's screaming at everyone. He's crying. He's punching. He punched a little kid for saying that he saw Christina Ricci's character. So you're seeing Justin Long's emotional descent. You're seeing that there's a scene with the mother and Justin Long where they don't get along because of the mom's mental illness and they break down. You're seeing the little boy who's weird. He attends some of the funerals from Liam Neeson's character, and you're seeing that he has a special connection to the teacher, but he also just is fascinated by death, and he kind of can talk to some of the dead people as well. He's got a similar path that Liam Neeson does. So the journey is, can Justin Long get her back before it's too late? So Justin Long at the funeral tells Liam Neeson, hey, I know she's still alive. I know she's still out there somehow. He's drinking to excess. He's overly drunk. He's aggressive. So Liam Neeson says, maybe she is. You don't have much time left. Go find her at the gravesite. So he sends Justin Long's character to go find her, knowing that Justin Long is overly drunk. So Liam Neeson does the same thing to Justin Long that he did to Christina Ricci. He abducts him and makes people think that he had a drunk driving accident, just like Christina Ricci did. So they wake up, they reunite just in time for Justin Long to wake up and realize that he has the same problem now that Christina Ricci had. And Liam Neeson is being helped out by the creepy little boy who's made to believe that being dead sometimes is being better than alive when you're not using your life properly. So it ends on a very dark note where Justin Long is now being kidnapped as well. Christina Ricci is left to die in her grave being buried alive. Justin Long is now left to think that he's dead and he's going to be buried soon, just like Christina Ricci was. And the little boy, who's one of the protagonists you feel bad for, is now helping Liam Neeson, this demented, evil funeral director, who's basically a murderer. It is very much like Saw. It is the message that Tobin Bell had in Saw. Those who don't appreciate their lives don't deserve their life. So he puts them through it. Well, Tobin Bell puts them through a series of games like in the Saw movies. In this case, Liam Neeson abducts them, makes people think it's a murder or a, some kind of a homicide-suicide situation, and he's the one killing these people. So it is a very dark, twisted movie that ends in a dark, twisted way, and I love stuff like that. It is my style. Nostalgic Nightmare, my film company, I always write and direct things that end in a dark way like that because that's realistic and that's terrifying. That's the people can do that to people and get away with it. So if you want something that's going to be well acted, well shot, tense the entire time, quiet sound design, ending on a very psychological, deep note that is very dark, I think you'll like this. 8 out of 10. What did you guys think if you have not seen Afterlife? If you have, talk about it in the comments below. And if you have not, it is free right now on Tubi. So if this stuff sounds good to you, sounds like something you'd want to see, it's on Tubi right now for free. Download the Tubi app and go check it out. This is my second review of many others coming. I've got 3 more in a row, so I'll be seeing you guys real soon. Take care.